satisfaction rate. Other larger schools, such as the University of Utah, or like we saw with Georgetown's CHARM program, they use what we like to call Facebook-style matching. It's where they create a social networking site, and students create their own profiles that describe them, who they are, and they put these profiles online, and then a computer matches up 10 or 15 matches, so that these incoming students during the summer can contact each other, get in touch, see if they have a lot in common, and if they develop a friendship, they can request the university match them together as roommates. So other schools are moving forward with how they match roommates, but Purdue is sort of stuck in the past. But we have to look at what sort of a solution will work for Purdue. Purdue is a very large, very diverse campus. So our team has decided that Purdue must adopt a computerized roommate matchmaking program. And this is because we have a very large school, okay? It's far too vast of a population to ever have a hand matching program be a success. It would just take too long, too much manpower. It's not feasible. Also, we have a very diverse international population. And social networking sites are sort of a new, almost Western or even American social construct. And it may be kind of hard for people from other countries to really grasp how to get this social networking to work for them and how to take full advantage of it. I mean, there's the language barrier. It might be hard to meet people from halfway across the world and find common interests in just a few short months in the summer with a picture and a profile. So we think that wouldn't be fair to all the students who come to Purdue. So what we want to do is to expand on the current survey and then have the resident hall computer evaluate all of the different criteria that students fill out, and they'll be matched based on personality, based on the choices they made on the survey, with people with like or compatible personalities. Now, how are we going to do this? Well, the implementation of this change should be relatively simple and inexpensive, but the potential for long-term benefits for Purdue University is unprecedented. Now, in order for this program to succeed, we absolutely must have $2,500 from the committee. And this is because, we'll go into the budget in a second. But most of what we need to make this program a success is already right here at Purdue. And because we create it at Purdue, it can be tailored to suit Purdue's needs. Now, Purdue already has the software and hardware capability necessary to make this matchup. According to Housing Director Robert Heider, adding more questions to the current 5 that are asked every year would be a simple task to complete from a technological standpoint. So all he has to do is get up from his desk, walk over to the computer, and input the new questions. Purdue already owns a system that they bought from a contractor that matches roommates based on the current 5 questions that are asked. So to add more questions is easy. The question is what questions to ask. Now, we're just a group of students. We don't know anything about what makes people tick or what makes people compatible. But there are plenty of people here at this university who do. We want to approach the Department of Psychology, the Department of Communications, Sociology, and we want to see if they're willing to jump onto this program and sort of use this as a research opportunity or like a career work experience opportunity for undergraduates, graduate students, and maybe even professors. We can get people who understand the dynamics of human compatibility to help make this survey and make sure that the matches between incoming students are as good as possible. Now, the only thing that Purdue doesn't have is whenever we add more questions to the current survey, remember, we're not going to have 5 questions. We're probably going to have around 15 to 20 or maybe even 25. Now, the thing is, every time you add questions, that's more criteria for the computer to evaluate before it can determine the successful match. That means it becomes algebraically more difficult for the computer to make matches. That means it'll take the computer longer to process all this information and match up people. So in order to stay on time so that all incoming freshmen have a roommate over the summer, it's imperative that we upgrade the school's computer. Now, we budgeted an Intel Xeon quad-core processor. It's pretty expensive and will eat up the majority of the budget, but we feel that this is a necessary investment because with this is an industrial-grade processor. It's similar to what runs your home PCs or your laptops, except it's made for corporations who do data mining, so it's perfectly suited for our needs. And this is going to allow the computer to handle this updated criteria, and it will allow us to implement this program. Well, now that we've seen how the solution is going to be carried out, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Ross Cornelison, and he's going to talk to you about the benefits this will have for Purdue University.
Thanks, sir. Okay, we're going to look at the benefits. It's going to benefit Purdue and its students in 3 ways. It's going to benefit the students. It's going to benefit our image, the universities. It's going to benefit us financially. First off, it's going to benefit our students. How? It's going to give us a more positive first impression of what we think Purdue is. Now, when you come to Purdue, you meet your roommate, and he or she seems a little off. That already gives you a bad taste of what your first year is going to be like. So if you come in, and this new roommate matching system will give you that, if you come in with a roommate that you know you're going to have a higher probability of liking, that's going to give you a better feel that Purdue is going to be great from the start. Next, you're going to be less stressed at Purdue. You're not going to feel, like we said, that you're not going to have to fear that somebody's going to be, urinating in your room, or you're not going to have to worry about your carpet being crunchy because they don't clean up their toenails. And knowing that, you're going to feel more relaxed. And because you feel more relaxed, you won't have to stress about coming back and not being able to focus on what you need to study. So with that, you're going to have a better chance to get a higher GPA. You're going to be able to study more, and you're going to have better study habits without having to worry about a bad roommate. Next, we're going to have lower dropout rates. Purdue's dropout rate is a bit lower than the other Big Ten schools at the moment, and they're really looking to improve this. And this would be a great way to do that. With a higher GPA, or the probability of having a higher GPA, and a better roommate, you're going to love where you're at, you're going to have a high academic performance. Why would you switch schools? Okay, maybe you don't like your major, but you're going to like the environment at Purdue, so you might just switch from one college to the other inside of Purdue. And next, you're going to have the possibility to form a lifelong friendship right at your feet. Okay, you're going to have somebody right next to you who can be your great friend, or just an average friend. But that is going to give you a great chance to meet somebody just like you, and you can talk to about everything. Next is going to benefit Purdue's image. It's going to show that Purdue cares about its students. Students are going to come here, and they're going to see, wow, Purdue, they don't just care about whether I smoke or not, or what time I go to bed. They're going to see that they care about how I take, how I work. And this will really personalize your college experience. Right now, we're just kind of put, mashed together. Okay, these kids go into McCutcheon, these kids go into Earhart. This will really personalize how your college experience. And this will be a deciding factor for students who apply to Purdue. They're going to see at other universities, maybe have this short roommate matching system, and they're going to worry about, how is my roommate going to be when I get to college? I know that's a big fear that some of us had when we came into college. And with this longer roommate matching system, and knowing that it matches our personality with another kid's who's just like us, that is going to be a deciding factor for students when they come here. And lastly, for Purdue's image benefits, it's going to show that we can adapt to a modern day conditions. We read this short excerpt from a book called Bowling Alone, and it talks about how in society we're becoming more independent because we just don't feel the need to talk with others, and we'll feel more isolated. With this program, it'll bring a friend to us instead of us still having to be isolated. Lastly, it's going to financially benefit us. With this new roommate matching system, similar ones like this have seen a 70% reduction rate in roommate switches. Now these switches cost money. They cost the school money a lot, because what happens is kids will have to cancel their contracts, and they end up only have to paying like 60 or 70% of the original semester tuition, and that's costing Purdue money. So with this, Purdue has to tack that on to other places where we have to pay, because they're not getting everything that they want. And this is going to take less time. Kids won't have to switch. A kid on my floor, they just switched with 2 weeks left. That's a big hassle. Okay. Unless so it's going to financially benefit us, and the students are going to be happier, and Purdue's going to look better from this solution.
Hello, I'm Derek Wallace. I'm going to kind of sum everything up right now. As you can see, Purdue's system needs to be fixed. How many of you want a bad roommate? No? Okay. I don't want one. I got lucky and I got a good one, but my buddy Mike, I feel sorry for him for the urinating all over his room. So, Purdue's system needs to be fixed. If you have a bad roommate, you have stress, you can lower your GPA, and it just causes so much problems and hassles throughout the year. So to fix this problem, we will need the $2,500 to buy this processor so we can make the survey, 25 questions around there, make it longer, make it more personalized than just, do you smoke? I don't, so I mean, and with that, it'll benefit us as students. We'll have higher GPAs, less stress, we'll get along, have lifetime, like friendships possibly, and it'll help Purdue because it'll look like Purdue cares for its students. So, to improve the college experience for all residents in the Purdue Residence Hall system, the committee, us, must understand the need for improvements to the current roommate matching system, how these improvements will be satisfied, and how Purdue will benefit and Purdue students will benefit from these improvements. So in order to implement this simple but long-term improvement to Purdue University, like I've said before, we will need the $2,500 from the committee to help organize, construct, and maintain this roommate matching service. So, thank you for your time, your cooperation, and your attention. And we will now open up the floor for any of you that have questions, concerns, or anything about our proposal. Thank you.
Round of applause, please.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Grace. And what if the sociology and the psychology undergrads that you said would run it don't want to conduct the research and run it? Who have you thought of who you would hire to do that then?
Well, we assume that this is a relatively small process. It's about 25 questions. It's no longer than Facebook quiz. So we find it, highly unlikely that we're going to find anyone, or that we'll be unable to find anyone willing to jump on board with this, especially when the impact it's going to have for the school. So, and our budget wouldn't really allow for hiring professional, experts in the field. But we do believe that we can get that help here at Purdue University.
So you're mainly just assuming / relying that those...
My sociology professor has said he's down for it. He'll do it. And anything to help Purdue University, he'll jump in.
I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine someone wouldn't want to take the time to create 25 questions and get work experience to help their university. It's a relatively simple procedure. Does that answer your question? Yes?
Okay, so Steve, I've always been brought up to think that opposites are a good thing. And I know when I was a freshman, the case was I was randomly matched with a roommate, a guy named Brian, and he was pretty much the exact opposite of me. And I mean, he wouldn't study or anything. He was very unorganized, very messy. But by the end of my freshman year, I actually we compromised, and I actually got him to become more astute and more just kind of organized like I was. So I mean, that was a good case, and I've known a lot of people like that. So
yeah, and when we talked to the housing director Robert Hyder, he noticed that too. But the thing is that that's sort of declining.